Oh,
PA.
she's not new. Oh, this is our new PA. Come here, Jeannie. Up. This is our new tech. PA tech. You gonna check the mic? Is it working? Is it working? Is it working? Testing, testing. What do you think? It's working. I love you. You're the stinkiest breath. Junie Pippa. All right, so we're gonna talk about senior dogs because I own one. Ta-da! Hi, Bubby. This is my senior dog. He's 14. He's a handful. Let me be honest with you. He's a Pomeranian, which basically means he's a wild animal. Those of you with Pomeranians can relate. They are small, wild creatures. Fun fact, when Hunter was younger and I was younger, back when we were both younger, this is like, 9 years ago, I used to run 6 miles a day. That sounds horrible just talking about it. But, and he would run with me. Yes, this little creature over there. And I was like, this is enough exercise, right? Because I was under this like falsitude that like, a tired dog is a happy dog. So I was like, I'm going to exercise the shit out of you. And then we would come home and he would proceed while I was showering to shred my rolls of paper towels, which like when you're a single girl making it on your own and you're like 20 and in LA surviving like by yourself, paper towels are valuable. Like those things are expensive. My books, he would shred my books and then I'd like come out from the shower and he'd like bring me a toy. Like, I'm ready for fetch now. And I'm like, homie, we just ran 6 miles. How is this even possible? Now, what I know now, right? Which if I could like go back and like open a little like portal into like 20-year-old me, I'd be like, stop running him, girl. You're just going to make it worse for yourself. It's because dogs habituate exercise. So they habituate the amount of exercise that they need based on how much you're giving them. So the more exercise you give your dog, the more exercise your dog is going to need. Isn't that nifty? So yeah, you've got to, come up with other creative ways to exercise them, which brings me to what's going on with our senior pets, right? Because I feel like a lot of times with senior dogs, we get into this sort of like complacency because they are so old and so sleepy, and we kind of stop meeting their needs. We kind of stop giving them stuff to do, and it does actually make them more complacent. So yeah, once Hunter sort of started to get up there, for a really long time, Hunter was my demo dog. We did everything together, like scent work trials, every class that I went to like study under a mentors. I took so many group classes. I'd bring Hunter just to like study and learn and watch other people teach and hear the way they describe things, because it helped me hone the way that I describe things to my clients. And then he got to a certain point where I was like, oh, he's old enough. He doesn't need it anymore. And he got really like complacent and sleepy and like anxious, like weird, like fear stuff started going on. And so I thought, well, maybe he's in pain. So when I got him checked out, but no, he was bored. So I started doing more enrichment for him. And like just last night, I gave everybody stuffed Kongs and like, in my mind, I would be like, oh, well, he's old. He doesn't need this, right? I know that's like a crazy thing to think, but if I'm thinking it and I'm a professional of this industry, then I'm sure someone else has thought of it, right? It's like, oh, well, they're old. Like, they don't need it, right? I'll give the stuffed Kongs to the young dogs. Like, he doesn't need one. But you know what? He worked on his the longest. And then he went and stole and worked on everybody else's. And this little crusty motherfucker is 14. So, like, your senior dog, they're not dead yet. And while exercise might not be might not be a possibility for their like old ailing bodies, enrichment is. So there are plenty of opportunities to enrich your senior dog's life, right? Through mental stimulation, simple problem solving skills, especially after a day like yesterday. Like here in LA, it was the 4th of July yesterday when I'm recording this. So if we think about like, it was a pretty stressful day for all the dogs, fireworks and all kinds of stuff going on. And giving him a little bit of like soothing and mental enrichment to sort of help him sleep it off and recenter himself is going to be hugely conducive to his ability to recover from these stressful events. Yeah. The other thing that I would definitely recommend for your senior dog is like a carrier in the car. So both of my dogs ride in crash tested car seats. It's hugely important because his little bones are older now and rickety, and he's probably got some arthritis in there and some other shit going on. God, he's getting old. But if I ride him in the car and I don't have him enclosed in a carrier and I hit the brakes too fast or traffic comes to a complete halt, like think about what's happening to his bones and his body when that's going on. So like protect your senior pets, right? Like invest a little bit more into them. And I will say this, like for anybody out there who's looking to get their first dog, get a senior dog. I know it sounds crazy. They're not dead yet, you guys. Like you could get a senior dog, have a lovely 5 to 7 years with them, really enjoy the idea of dog ownership and not have to deal with the stress of a puppy. Because let me tell you something, raising that little creature that just jumped off my lap, it almost took it out of me. Like, and I help pet parents raise puppies all the time, but like I don't live with them actively in the house. Living with a 9-week-old and a 12-week-old and a 15-week-old and an 18-week-old and a 7-month-old and a 9-month-old puppy is a nightmare. It really is a nightmare. And if it's your first dog, it's hard. So there's a lot. There's a lot that goes into that. It was a lot for me, and I'm a freaking dog trainer. And I had tons of resources, right? Like I worked at a huge facility. She got daily enrichment. She started swim lessons at 9 weeks. I was teaching group classes. I had mentee students who needed a training demo dog. She'd be their demo dog. Like this dog got it all, right? And I had the ability to do that. And it was still overwhelming and it still felt like a lot. So get a senior dog. They're great, and they're sitting in a shelter today, like waiting for you to love on them. Maybe even more now after the 4th, because 1 in 5 dogs go missing on the 4th of July. Some fun stats for you. But yeah, and when you have your senior dog, like don't discount what they need. And if you're struggling with your senior dog, get creative about how you problem solve, because it could literally be just as simple as like, they just need a little bit more. And it's not a little bit more exercise. It's a little bit more like engagement, stimulation, puzzles. And this goes for any dog in your house, truly. But I just wanted to, because I have a senior pet, take some time to advocate for, love on, and share some tips to help life with your senior pet elevate. Because they deserve to have just as much excitement and just as much attention as a puppy might. Even though they might not need it or be asking for it, doesn't mean they shouldn't get it. Okay, that's it for today. Like, subscribe, share with your friend who has a senior dog. Go look up senior dogs that are available for adoption and maybe post them on your socials just to get other people looking at them, because they're cute and they need homes, and why not? And I'm sure they'd much prefer cuddling with you on your couch than on a shelter floor. And tune in next week. We'll be back with another segment of Bitching with Sylvia. And yeah, say bye to Hunter. All right, he's asleep. Next time.